next 10-15 minutes, I'm not sure, we will see, I will present what we find in the research, and also what conclusions we draw from that. And then afterwards, you can ask any questions and come up with suggestions. So we started just by testing, like, hey, how do donors like direct donations to locally led NGOs? In this research, we tried to get more evidence for our strategies. So that was like, is this really going to help shift the power so that Southern-based organizations will have more decision-making power? Is there any proof on how you can do best in unrestricted grants, like the NGOs decide how to use the budget, which is part of our mission. And because of all the interviews and the desk research, we got to this trust-based partnerships, which can mean so many things, but I will get to explain that. But it became like a major strategy in the 2 years change. So we just added it here. So I will tell you what were our findings in short. I realize it's a lot of letters. I can share the presentation afterwards as well. When it comes to trust-based partnerships, we found that it must be if you want to facilitate NGOs to perform at their very best. And of course, the other part is what we see a lot in development aid is that there is no trust and there is a lot of controlling. So that was, I think it was one of the insights of the research. And what it can practically be, because it's such a broad term, is on our part at least, to make the partnership as easy and simple as it could be, also in terms of paperwork, to have multi-year partnerships, not just on projects periods, to provide you with flexibility. And I think the thing that we learned is to work around your work cycle and not you working according to our cycle. So when we started, we had like short projects of only 4 months and then reporting, and me asking you like, we need the reports, but there are better ways. Now we learned that. And of course, having this transparency and being open for a conversation that I think everyone mentioned already. So how we want to change in 2023 is, I think every NGO needs to have an annual plan, right? You will make that and you work according to it, and then you report with an annual report. And if you're not doing it yet, it will be smart to do so, because it will help you in any relation with donors. So then it's your plan, right? It's not a specific report or a specific plan to Impact Direct, but in our partnership agreement, then we can sit together, like you with Marta or we, and then decide on, hey, for us, it's realistic to raise this amount for you this year, of course, with your co-promotion. And we say this percentage will go to projects that you put in your annual plan, this percentage go to organizational growth. And then, of course, you will report in your annual report. And there's a minor but, like the output reports on the website that we are working already now currently, it will remain because it's a major tool to reach out to our supporters and keep them engaged. But it will be easier because the website will be improved. So you can just enter the answers on the website and it will be the report for you. So that gets less work and more simple. And then furthermore, you will still be working with your own paperwork and we will work with partnership agreements. It also includes transparency, as was also already mentioned. So what we try to do whenever we have a meeting with you is to update like this overview that we keep on the drive with questions that you had to ask, with follow-ups that we agreed on. So, and it's also for you, there for you to see also how many donations came in. So it helps us to track progress on both sides, and it's helping transparency. I think what we also want to, I mean, we did it somehow informally, but to make it more formal, to evaluate the partnership every year on our performance as well on yours, and see if it really helps you and how it should be then next year. And after 3 years, we can check, like, is it still needed, or can we have a different kind of partnership? For instance, one thing that we want to try for next year with one of the NGOs is to scale their solution to more NGOs. That can be something, can be also something different. So it's really in a conversation to see how we can best support. When we look at shift to power and unconditional grants, I think, and that's what we always have known, but through the research, it became much more clearer. Like, your impact is the work that you do with the people. That's the aim of the development cooperation, right? That they will have better income or better food security, better education. But it's the impact that the NGOs make. For us, our core mission is to support organizations and to have stronger civil society organizations. So that slightly differs, and at least the way how we want to measure impact ourselves. And unconditional grants help to make stronger organizations, but also the capacity strengthening program that we want to start in November. And we want to, because now it was always possible to spend part of the budget to organizational strength, so not on projects, but we didn't see many NGOs doing it. So in the partnership agreement, now we can say, like, you can really put a percentage apart, like, I want to train my people, or any other goal that you have on organizational level, which will be part of the capacity strengthening program, to find out what that is. So then that means we encourage also expenditure on organizational growth. And to tell a little bit about the capacity strengthening program, I think the meeting is too short to go into deep, but what we want to start in November is 1 year program on organizational excellence and measuring impact. So really to establish like this great annual plan. I mean, that's the practicals of it, but really to look at your organization and say, hey, this is what I'm really good at, but this is something that we want to develop, and to make a plan behind it. Like, okay, so if I want to go here in 1 year or in 5 years, then this year I will do this and this and that. And we hope to be supportive in the capacity strengthening program as well as in funding it partly. Then this is actually inspired by one of a funder that we also interviewed. So the second year could be, that's what we would suggest, is the capacity strengthening program to focus on communicating results and income generating. And year 3 really on proposal writing. There are some great examples also from our board member Richard, that if there is a good proposal, we could write as a group and support as a group, and it can give really good results. And after the 3rd year, we will see how we can best continue the partnership. That's in very short what we are planning to. And the training will be preferably in-person training sometimes, but it depends on the budget. So then we will have a group in West Africa and a group in East Africa. but also some online meetings where we can give each other feedback, right, in a small group of NGOs, and some self-assessment. So then you can do it in your own organization, share what you want to share, but mainly use it for your own annual plan. That's the shortest I can be. Any remarks or questions by now, or should I first finalize this part? Then you can say. Yeah, it's not a minor thing. It doesn't really depend on the research, but our web developer is really busy to improve the website so that NGOs can do a lot more, not just doing updates, but also upload their project page, our NGO page, make changes if they want, and also do the reports there. So the website will be easier, and it involves less like sending Word documents up and down. And I think that also will ease your work with us. That's like trying to summarize a research in 10 minutes and what it would involve for the partnership. And I can imagine you have questions, or you want to react to it like, this is great, or I'm still doubting about this one, or I don't understand that yet. Is there any comment or question from your side?
Yeah, with your permission, if I can.
Sure.
I think I need some clarification.
Mm-hmm.
You've said this part of capacity building.
Mm-hmm.
We will be fundraising together as members of Impact Direct, right? But that will depend on the geographical location. That is if the budget allows. And will it be depending on the thematic areas that the organization or the focus area of the organization? Or
you're very right, Susan. I think you mean the year 3 on proposal writing. So it's more like a training on proposal writing, but a training can be like, okay, there's someone going to tell you all the theoretics, and then they say, okay, good luck. And we have seen that that's not working. So it's better to start work, like maybe one of you have seen a great opportunity. Then anyone who works on agriculture in Ghana, for instance, might be interested in it. Then we can sit down with this particular group, start writing, start giving each other feedback. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yeah, sorry. Anything else? I'm sure you will have questions or like doubts or remarks.
Well,
Solomon?
Yes, I think I was using my phone, so I just switched to my laptop. That's why now you can see me.
Yes.
And there's something that I saw, maybe if I got it wrong. I saw, like you said, in the coming years, you focus on some percentages that will go into a program, and they also go into organizational. So yeah, the annual plan, which contains percentage for the project and organizational growth. Have you thought of how you are going to do it, or we have to come together and then discuss the modalities that we are supposed to?
What we plan for is to start in November but we're also still fundraising. So we are really hoping that we can come together in, for instance, in Accra and Nairobi, and sit down into groups and really start, that it will be a training day or 2 days, really start looking at your organization. Like, where do I want to be in 10 years or 5 years? So it's on organizational excellence. Actually, that's Reaearch's expertise. So he will be able to tell you much more about it. And this will all be input for your annual plan. Like, if you really know, like, my organization is this part, I want to go here, but I'm now here, so which steps do I need to make? I can imagine that, and it can be different for all of you, of course, but you will end up with some steps that you want to do in 2023 to get in 10 years somewhere, some steps improved or bigger or having more impact. And I think that's the part that what we mentioned with organizational growth. So it could be training staff, or maybe you have need of an extra department of something that maybe some of the organizations don't have any communication officer. I'm not, if that is an aim, I'm not sure, but that could be like an objective. To have like a junior coming in trying to help you with that. It could be like actually anything, but it really should support your mission. I think that's the most important. And so what we would want to do in the capacity strengthening program is to support you in getting to that plan. Would that be would that be something to look forward to? Is it exciting, or is it like, oh, that's like more time to spend for me on this? What how do you? I understand that it's a little bit of information right now, but would it be a good thing to sit down for 2 days in a training?
Okay, I'm okay with that.
And for you, William?
Yeah, I think with the capacity building program, it's a step on the right direction, you know, to build the capacity of NGOs. I think I like the aspects you are saying that it should be in-person training. Maybe we'll be grouping West Africa and then others. That one, when we have maybe 1 day or 2 days intensive training in person, I think that will have an impact. And I like that. I'll be hoping that this will really come to pass. That's what I have to say.
We're currently talking to the embassies in Accra and Nairobi, and yeah, we were working hard on getting the budget there. So I'm really hoping that we can do that, yeah. And if it's not this year, right, next year for sure, but yeah. So we'll let you know once we know. And how is that for you, Susan? Would it be something for COSDEP to join? Would you like it?
Yeah.
And for Maureen?
Yeah, it would be something I would be interested in attending.
I think we have talked so many times about capacity strengthening, and you and other people from NGOs were telling, yeah, this is something that we really need, or it should be good. But of course, there are like 100 ways of doing it. What we find most important is that it will be able to support you, right? If we look, what we have seen in former research is that many capacity building has been on facilitating how to report to Northern NGOs, for instance, or how to partner with Northern NGOs. And of course, we want to do that differently. So it should really be supporting your mission. And I think the coming year will be like, of course, we will put there the best program that we can think of, but it will also we will also keep asking you the coming year, like, is this what we want, or should it be different next time? Or I think it will be something that we will be developing, but your input and feedback is really important as well. So we are getting better and better as a team, right? As a partnership.
I would want to chip in something.
Yes, of course.
With the capacity building, I think after maybe we having maybe our session in West Africa, or all of us in Africa coming together in one jurisdiction, having our training, I would want to suggest after the training, there will be, you know, the need for some sort of coaching that is very necessary. So after the training, if we can get some maybe people from your side coming in to coach, maybe spend some 1 week with our organization doing the coaching, that would also be an effective way of improving our organizations. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thanks, and thank you for the suggestion, because actually maybe not, we don't plan for now to visit you for 1 week, although it would be great. But I don't think our budgets will allow. But of course, that's what we plan for, like in-person training. If there is like a specific question for a specific expertise, we can have some experts online training. But I think it's in 1 year, it's maybe 2 or 3 trainings. You end with a practical plan, you do it, we come together as in small groups to reflect on it. We come together one-on-one or with a coach or a mentor. So it's like a 1 year of support. It's not just one training and that's it. So thanks for the question, because that made me to clarify. But that's what we would like to do, is to and sometimes we did that because we just had conversations. That's maybe it's a good example of Pinasol, that they wanted to do more on sexual education for teen girls, but it's not in their expertise. But our network knew an organization that was working in the same community with that expertise, so we could link up. So that's, I mean, there are so many possibilities to link up with the best expertise of our experts possible. And I think what we want to do as Impact Direct is to remain with what we are good at and link up with other experts. But anyway, I think the suggestion is good. And we're planning for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this reminds me, I should inform you better on the capacity strengthening. And we're almost done with writing it out in understandable language. I only have now the like schedules that I don't want to send you. So we'll keep you updated soon on that. Maureen, do you have any other questions or for clarification or suggestions for now?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
And Marta, would you want any to add so far?
Not really, just I'm not so sure whether everyone got exactly the changes that will come with the new partnership, but probably once we share this document with them and then they go through it, it will probably give them better insights and they could come back to us with the questions.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for the addition. For me, it's also clear. but it's also a lot of information. I think summarizing the biggest changes are, we are going to work with your annual plan and annual report. So that will save you specifically reporting to us. The website will be easier for you to use in many other ways, and we will start a capacity strengthening program. And that is like the first year I would want to see as a pilot, that of course we would do as good as we can. And I think we do have a lot of expertise on that in our team, but it will also involve your feedback to improve it for the next year. And yes, I will share the documents.